Dark Souls is an extremely rewarding game, but as a noob, I find that it can be extremely frustrating. My first hour of Dark Souls went really well. I managed to defeat the Asylum Demon, Taurus Demon, and the Bell Gargoyles. But after today, I can now hear the "you died" sound in my sleep thanks to the Capra Demon. My goal for today is to see exactly how far I can get in Dark Souls within 2 hours of playtime. I have hopes to defeat the Capra Demon and the Gaping Dragon, but you'll just have to see if that's even possible for a noob like me. Also, I'd like to thank you for the amazing support I got on the first video. It was such a blessing to have some fun conversations about Dark Souls, and I received various encouraging comments. This was truly a blessing. Thank you guys. Upon starting my timer, I had one quick stop that I'd like to make. That is to hopefully get the Black Knight Greatsword, as I heard it could end up being a useful weapon for me to use in the future. But in order to get to the Black Knight, I had to first get through this rat cave. You'll come to find out that rats seem to be the theme of this video. After making it out of the rat hole, I was able to give an attempt at the Black Knight, but he cooked me. So I tried one more time and it went much better. Sadly, I didn't get the sword, so that means I wasted my first 5 minutes of gameplay. I then moved my way back to the rat cave so I could try and farm a few souls by using the Dragon Bridge method. By collecting the few extra souls, this allowed me to buy some Titanite shards to upgrade my claymore. I was hoping the extra damage on the claymore would be worth the time that I had spent on it, because I had practically already wasted my first 10 minutes. Now it was time to go through the most miserable 20 minutes of my life. By that, I mean I had to start my attempts at the Capra Demon. I absolutely hate this fight, because of the arena and the large amount of annoying enemies between the bonfire and the boss. I was able to make it there, but I had taken a little bit of damage on the way. That of course didn't matter, because I died as soon as I walked in the doorway. On my next attempt, the run back went horrible, as expected, but I was actually able to survive longer than 5 seconds with the boss. At least I'm making some kind of progress. Already, I had wasted another 5 minutes, and this undead assassin was not making me feel any better. I was getting pretty worried that I might not actually be able to beat the Capra Demon within this hour. Rather than trying the same thing over and over again, I decided to go back to the Firelink Shrine, and in order to get there, I was able to use my Master Key. At the Firelink Shrine, I had plans to quickly reinforce my Estus Flask, but also, I decided this is where I would do my run back for the Capra Demon. Although this route was going to take me much longer to run back, I had some easier enemies, as well as a lot less undead assassins and dogs to deal with. And even though the run back was much easier, it didn't make the fight any easier, and I was beginning to run low on time. Thankfully, with a little bit of struggle, my next attempt went really well. I took a lot of hits and I had a lot of close calls, but I was actually able to chip away his health. Amazingly, I was able to actually do it within 30 minutes. And well, the adrenaline had definitely set in. But defeating the Capra demon meant that I had to go through the horrible place which has been named the Depths. In the Depths, I had to fight the rats around every corner I went, and I also had to risk being cursed. But worst of all, I had no idea how to navigate this place. Thankfully, I was able to make it to the bonfire easily thanks to my master key. I don't think I've ever been so relieved to make it to a safe point in the game before. After leveling up at the bonfire, I began to wander around what would now be one of my least favorite places in the game. I managed to get poisoned at least a dozen times, and I had no clue where to go. So after looking up a quick guide on YouTube, I managed to figure out how to get a shortcut which would get me to the Gaping Dragon in time before my second hour of Dark Souls was up. Here, I would find that this is one of the worst hitboxes on a boss that I would ever deal with. So attempt 1 was a complete failure. Attempt 2 was also a disaster, and I was quickly running out of time. I had to defeat the dragon on my third try, or else I would go overtime and mark today as a failure. Thankfully, I managed to actually dodge its attacks and slowly chip away its health. I actually did it, and I'm pretty happy with myself. But I sadly went 1 minute over, so it's up to you to come up with a punishment for me in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you on the next episode.